Hi friends, welcome to the Football Analyst once again. Here we are with नापली वर्सेस यूवेंटस. आज का ये जो मैच है सीरिया मैच नापली और यूवेंटस के बीच में है और ये काफ़ी रोमांचक मैच होने वाला है क्योंकि यूवेंटस जो है वो अवे खेलने वाली है. अवे रिकॉर्ड यूवेंटस का इतना भारी नहीं है तो यू कैन एक्सपेक्ट a tough game out here, and with Napoli having a set of good players, and yes, they've bettered themselves better than last season. So now, guys, what you're going to get into this video is, as I've presented in my earlier videos, the possible playing 11, the team news, some important tactics that could be deployed by either side, and of course, important players that you need to focus on to make a winning team. So let's get started, guys. We move on to the first team, that's Juventus, because it's my favorite team. After Manchester United, Juventus, yes. Obviously, it's sentiments that are attached to this team right from childhood. So we've had great players coming from Roberto Baggio, Zidane, Pirlo, Pavel Nedved. So let's go ahead, guys, and take a look at this. But before we go ahead, let's take a look at where these two teams stand. Now, Juventus is at number 3, playing 20 games and winning 42 points. Napoli have played 20 games and have won 37 points. Now, an important game for Juventus to lower the gap, reduce the gap with Inter Milan, and an important game for Napoli to try and qualify for the Champions League places. Okay, they would be superior on goal difference if they win this game, and yes, they would jump up to 4th place. So that's the last Champions League qualifying place. So an important game. Now, home record. Let's see. Napoli have won 19 points out of 10 games on their home front, while Juventus have won 19 games out of 10 games on their away front. So it's a tough match, as I said earlier. It's going to be a tough match. You could end up, and these kind of matches, they could end up with a 0-0 scoreline. We've seen many of the big teams nullifying each other's game. The last encounter that was played in the month of January, Juventus beat Napoli 2-0. That was the Supercoppa. Okay. Prior to that, they played in the Coppa Italia. That was a scoreline of 0-0. See, that's what I said. The big teams could have an effect wherein the game gets nullified from both the sides. If you take a look at Juventus, we have Kulusevski. Now, Kulusevski could start, but most probably there could be Morata also, replacing him. But given Kulusevski's form, I hope he gets a start, and that's the reason why I've included him in my possible 11. Partnering him would be, but of course, universal captain Cristiano Ronaldo, no doubts about that. On the left flank, we would have Chiesa, right wing, we have Bernardeschi, central midfield pair of Bentancur and Rabiot. Now, strong defensive pair, Bentancur and Rabiot. You can expect a tough game out of Adrian Rabiot. Sandro on the left wing, Danilo on the right wing. That's the normal setup for Juventus. The two wing backs are playing absolutely their best football at the moment. Chiellini and Demiral should man the central defense with Gigi Buffon in goal. So Juventus top scorers, we have Ronaldo with 16 goals, Federico Chiesa with 5 goals, Morata with 4 goals, Kulusevski has put in 3 goals. Now, if you take a look at their assists also, there are quite some few assists which have happened, and I'll just give them to you in a moment. Now, we have Morata surprisingly with 7 assists. not having a hand in scoring goals, but yes, providing goals, 7 assists. So I'm sure if he does make the squad, you would definitely want to have him in your team. Juan Cuadrado with 5 assists, Danilo with 3 assists, okay, and Chiesa also with 3 assists along with Cristiano Ronaldo. So these are the kind of players that you would like to have in your team. Let's take a look at some defensive units that we could have. Danilo is a very good option. He could be a very good defensive player for you, a vice captain choice. One player that you would like to have in your midfield would be Ben Tucker, who averages around 2 tackles per game and same number of interceptions. So he could fetch you valuable points based on the new gaming point system. Now moving down to Napoli, guys, we have Lorenzo Insigne up front with Osimhen and Mertens. 3 up front with Lozano, Deme and Elmas in the midfield. The defense would be Rui, Manolas, Koulibaly and Di Lorenzo in the defense, with Ospina in goal. Now this is a more kind of an attacking, central attacking formation compared to the wing play that Juventus should deploy. I'll give you brief details about the team tactics also. So let's take a look at the goal scorers and assist providers and some important players from Napoli. We have Insigne with 9 goals, Lozano with 9 goals, Politano with 6, and Zelensky with 4, along with Mertens and Pentagna. So they have all 3 scored 4 goals each. And the suppliers to them would be Mertens again with 6 assists, Lorenzo with 3, Zelensky, Insigne, Petagna, all 3 assists. Now Lorenzo has a very good attacking kind of gameplay from the wings, direct balls thrusted up front for the forwards to score. So yes, you might get a chance to see these kind of balls coming through. But yes, now what we need to take a look at is some important players that could present you a wonderful gaming option for in terms of defense for Napoli. Let's take a look at them now. So in the defensive front, what we have is a good midfielder in the form of Bakayoko, but most probably he's not going to be playing this game. Diego Deme is a central defensive midfielder. Yes, he could be that solid person, and he'll be loaded with that responsibility of cutting out Juventus attacks in the midfield. Di Lorenzo, once again, is another good defensive option. You might want to include him in your team. तो आप उसको भी ले सकते हैं दोस्तों. जैसे कि मैं पहले भी कह चुका हूँ कि ये सारे प्लेयर्स जो मैं बोल रहा हूँ, जिनके बारे में मैं इन्फॉर्मेशन दे रहा हूँ, इनको ध्यान में रखिएगा और अपनी टीम बनाइएगा, क्योंकि ये प्लेयर्स वो है जो आपको काफ़ी अच्छे पॉइंट्स दिला सकते हैं. अब इनकी टीम्स हम इनकी गेम प्ले देखते हैं कि हाउ डू दीज टू टीम्स प्ले. Now, as I said, now let's take a look at Juventus. Now, Juventus mainly, as I said, they have a setup of playing on the wings. Yes, they have a wing play which uses counter attacks. Through balls are often used, and they have the very best free kick specialist in the form of Cristiano Ronaldo. No saying about that. Short passes, possession of the ball, and yes, attack would be through the wings, through the middle, with through balls. That's how they play. Napoli would have a game style of using the wings but this is kind of a different wing play, since they are in an attacking formation of 4-3-3. Now, they would be also creating a lot of chances. They have individual players, skillful players, in fact, and they are also good at free kicks. So it's going to be a very interesting game, and it should be a quite a calm game because none of these teams are aggressive. So that's about these two teams, the style that they play. That's from my side, guys. That's the football analyst. You can find me on Telegram at the rate sandbox player. That's my personal ID. You can join my channel at the rate football underscore analyst underscore fantasy. So see you guys before game time. Yes, definitely teams are gonna come in my channel. Have a nice day and take care.